Hello, welcome to Live with Jill and Frank. My name is Jill Petrie. I'm a
Uh,
psychic medium, author. I know sometimes I skip that. Go ahead, Frank.
and I'm Frank. And tonight we have a special guest with us. And we have, the wonderful Pamela Jones. I actually don't know much about her. So I'm actually going to let Jill do the intro because my life was a bit of turmoil. So I never even got to find out too much about Pamela. But I'm really happy to tonight.
Welcome, Pam. Pamela has
Hi,
been
Jill. Hi,
working
Frank.
with Pamela has been working with people with suffering with grief. So she's here tonight to tell us a little bit about what she does. And do you want me to give you the intro, or do you want to explain yourself, Pam?
No, go ahead. You're doing great.
Okay. All right. So Pamela's a grief recovery specialist, a quantum touch healer certified in Reiki, and a whole body relaxation massage therapist. Um, she has many other certifications in energy work. Pamela, Pamela magically transforms your energy from negative to positive through her upbeat energy and divination tools such as mediumship, energy readings, and tarot and oracle cards. Pamela helps people to recognize they aren't the only ones going through a crisis or drama. She assists them in helping themselves through this time of their lives by providing a variety of readings, utilizing different tools of divination, counseling, and course of humor when appropriate. People that come to Pamela are those who are ready for change and have a desire to move forward and gain greater knowledge of their self growth. She offers grief recovery sessions for groups or for individuals, sistership circles, psychic medium circles, tarot and oracle readings, and energy readings. Currently, Pamela has added painting as a magical form of meditation and stress relief to her friends and clients. And if I'm correct, Pamela, you're going to be also offering um, painting virtually later?
Yeah. Painting, yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I've just set up a page for painting.
awesome. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the work that you do with the grief therapy. Um, what is the grief recovery method exactly? Can you explain that to us?
And forgive me if I read this out because I was actually so nervous today that I made notes in that. Because normally I'm
That's
on the other end, Jill. I'm usually the one doing the
I
interviewing.
know this is a
And that
switch for you.
we don't usually use camera. It is a big switch. It's supposed to be easier, but I don't know. Okay, so what the grief
perfectly
recovery
fine.
method is, it's a support group, but it's not your typical support group. What it is, it's a safe environment for you to look at your old beliefs and about dealing with loss. So, which losses have affected your life, and take actions that will lead you to complete unresolved emotions that may still be causing you pain. It's actually an action based group and program that involves reading and writing assignments. And don't worry, they're not big. They might get a little bit hard towards the end of the program, but if I can do this, you absolutely can do this. So we actually do reading and writing assignments out of the grief recovery handbook that you can get anywhere, because you can also do this on your own, but it's more helpful if you do it in a group program or even one-on-one. It's not a drop-in group. You'll either do an 8-week group format or a 7-week one-on-one, because you're not with other people in the group, and you can get through it like one session faster, basically. So that's
Oh,
We may be having a little bit of a technical
created
difficulty.
by
Hold on
I
a
grief
think
second.
so.
itself that I went through training.
You're cutting off. We're having
Is
problems
it
hearing
cutting
you,
off?
and
Okay.
you're freezing.
Oh,
Crap. Sorry, guys. We've been having a little bit of technical issues
try.
since earlier. They're on and off. Oh, it's getting well. The little bars are getting stronger at least, but she's frozen, eh?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's frozen.
I feel like the old AT&T
oh, we
commercial.
hear you, but we can't. You don't
Okay.
move anymore.
I wonder if it'd be better if we patched her in just with audio.
Possibly. How would we do that though?
Oh, I'm not sure she hears us because she's still talking.
I just turned my camera off on my end.
Yeah. Can we still
Yeah.
hear
I
you
do.
now?
Yeah.
Can we still
No,
hear her
that's the
though?
problem. No, we can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only can once she's
All right, we hear her.
activated.
So let's do this. Oh,
Well, right
let's
now it's working, so let's take advantage of that
all right.
and
Here.
see where it leads us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, we hear you now, Pam. So you were telling us about the grief recovery method.
oh,
Maybe you can tell us how the grief recovery method got started. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear her.
She's not muted.
No, but she sounds completely muted. It's that is crazy. Oh,
We never had that problem before.
it can happen with the connections. I know it's kind of
Oh, what's the plan?
technology is awesome. It's just not made for rural areas. It's rough. Oh crap.
Should I try to call in?
Uh
Like I
oh.
can call on speaker on my phone is the best I can do.
Wait a minute. Weren't we looking at a way to get a caller in? Oh, it
Yeah.
was using the mixer. Wait a minute. Okay, give me a second. My stupid phone. I have zero way of getting sound out of the phone. Because if I did, I mean, I have a whole set of mixers and stuff.
Hi, Laquanda. Just bear with us a minute. We're having some technical issues tonight.
Oh, crap. Yeah, this is not working. I have no means of patching in a call either.
I can do it this way, I think. Um, if I share my screen and call her through Facebook and share my sound, it'll be a call.
Yeah, no, it's gonna do all kinds of loop backs and weird stuff.
Okay.
That's the problem. Is we need to patch her in, but we don't have a means to do that. And she's now at 1 microbar and red, so I don't think she's coming back in anytime
So I'm
soon.
gonna have her leave and rejoin without video.
She
Yeah.
can't do that. I don't know where you get that she could do that, but she can't.
Why? I don't know
Well,
why.
because the software doesn't allow it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. We can't do it.
Okay. Well, I will. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of lost now.
Okay. She
Um.
may be back. Okay, well, this way without video we can do yes. With the icon like she has right now.
Okay. Talk, Pam.
Okay. I see bars on there now. You
Yeah,
got
we
me
hear you now.
now?
Oh yeah, because she says no, don't
Okay.
share video, so then it works.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So go ahead and tell us about how the grief recovery method was started.
Okay. So the grief
This
recovery
is.
method
Oh,
actually
okay.
started. It was. You got it. I've got all bars on my end.
We can have to excuse her.
Yeah, no,
We'll
it's
have to
not
try
working.
again, Pam. We can have to because we
Yeah, we're
can't
gonna
hear
have to
you.
rebook. We're gonna have to try to rebook. I really want to rebook though because I was very interested. I mean, I had read the description of what you do, and I was all like, "Oh, okay, wow, this is gonna be super interesting." So absolutely, we
I
should
think
have
maybe
you
a good
on.
idea, we can maybe film and not do it live. That way we know we
Possibly,
have. Okay.
yeah, that could be
That's what I was
something.
just thinking too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, even if we did the interview, and because we were gonna do, I mean, we kind of messed up this entire episode, guys. We apologize. Uh, hey, you try stuff, and that's that, right? Um, but yeah, we'll have to try a different approach. But yeah, we may record and maybe sandwich it between you and I going live that night
Hmm.
or something.
Okay. Sounds good.
So that's you know, anybody watching, that's what it'll be. We're gonna have we're definitely gonna have to have her back.
We'll have it. We'll make an announcement on what episode it's going to air on. We'll try to do that this week or 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 next week sometime. When well, you have a lot going on this week. It might be next week.
Sounds good. Well, I mean, we'll figure it out
We'll
and
let you know.
let everybody know. In the meantime, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my friend Chat GPT, or my friend Laquanda could work as well, to throw subjects at us, to throw something that you'd like to hear about. If not, I will go with Chat GPT. But I'd much rather if it was somebody that listens to us. Um, oh, wait a minute,
What we got?
Pamela. She seems to be here.
Who's here? Oh,
Pamela.
Pamela.
Yeah, it seems to be
We got it, Pam.
working for a second.
Are we all good, Pam?
No, it's still doing the same thing. All right.
It's the sound. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
we're
it's still
gonna
going.
keep on going. All right.
I think
We're just gonna have to say we're gonna have to go with good night, because this is like, it's not, well, we can't hear you. We can see your image change every 3 seconds or 4 seconds. Oh, you moved for one brief second
hold on.
here. Um, it doesn't always catch you in a flattering pose either. Sadly.
What's going on?
Hello, Jessica. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're having some technical difficulties tonight. Um, we had a special guest planned in, and we're having trouble um with her audio. So if you're just catching us, we have Pamela Jones joining in. She's a grief. I don't know what the word for. I guess grief professional. She um certified in grief coaching, and she is going to tell us a little bit
Oh,
about what she does,
oh,
and she's going to share what she has to offer with us.
from
Uh,
okay.
but since we're having technical difficulties tonight, we're going to go ahead and pre-film that and air it for you.
Jessica says I'm bad juju. No, I wasn't you. We
No,
were
you're
having a
not,
hard time
Jessica.
before.
It must be the distance or the area or something like that. So Frank,
Yes.
are we using Chat GPG?
Mindfulness. Is that a good topic?
Yep, that's good.
It spit that one out. Well, it gave me other ones. It gave me that. It gave me Buddhism. It gave me Taoism, shamanism, mysticism, spiritual healing, near death experiences, yoga, meditation.
Near death experiences.
Okay, cool. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never even talked about that on the show, have I?
I don't think so. Have you had one?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, do tell.
Oh, okay. You're in for a story. Holy crap. All right. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to expose my past. I wasn't always a good child.
Just a little more.
Um, yes, I was not always a good child, and so At some point, let's try to keep the story as PG, whatever's acceptable as we
Please.
can. But I was in a situation where I had just come to Ottawa, and I was well, okay, let's cut to where it got bad. I was being chased by police officers. And so, well, I know I'm trying not to get too much in the story of how I got to being chased with police officers, but all right, so I was attempting to help a kid sell drugs, and so he started selling to an undercover officer, and I went, "Oh crap, I gotta get out of here." And the kid turned around and said, "Hey man, check for the cops." And I went like, "Okay, well the cops are right there," and I started running. Now I didn't know the city or anything. I come from Montreal, which is a bigger city, and so I'm running and I'm going like, "Okay, I'm gonna hit the first like back street that I see." Now, unfortunately, Ottawa just doesn't have back streets. And so I'm running and I'm running. And then as I was starting to run, I had seen two police officers on bicycles turning around to start heading my direction. And then all of a sudden I'm running and I see those two bikes pass me. So I know that there's not a chance I'm getting anywhere at this point. And so I stopped. And when I stopped, the undercover officer that was behind me jumped on me and put me in a headlock or whatever, but started strangling me, or at least what I perceived as being strangled. At that moment, something happened. I don't know how to describe it because it's a feeling, right? It's not a, but I saw blue, like everything blue, like the sky, but not exactly, almost. And in my head, I went, okay, that's it. Today I die, right? And when that happened, my entire body, my entire being. I mean, I do a lot of meditation and stuff, and I have never in my life experienced anything more relaxed. My entire being just let go, and I went like, okay, today I die. And that feeling was excessively peaceful. And that's a gift I received. I mean, okay, now obviously what happened is my body relaxed and the cop obviously probably noticed, or if he had me just in a, and I mean, as far as I know, for him it was just another day at work. He had me in a chokehold and he does it 9 times a day, and the person eventually, he feels their body go that way and he lets them go, and it's just that's part of the deal. Right? And I was being a bad guy and I was running, but for me that's how it was felt. But that was incredible for me. That was a like it meant so much in a sense of what it would mean for me to have to face death, even in the situations that we imagine to be the worst. Right? And so now there's something in my head that always says, regardless how bad it is, there's going to be a short moment where it's going to be excessively bad, followed by that feeling.
Hmm.
And I'm quite okay with that feeling.
And for that feeling, that's why a lot of people have spiritual awakenings. Would you say that this started a spiritual awakening for you, or were you just always felt awoke, or what is your experience with that?
I awoke before that. I awoke almost as a child. Like my experience started like when I was 9 years old. I started walking to church, because I was seeking to know. I don't know what. It was just so weird. I started. Like my parents were not. I don't know. Like some part of me thinks back of them and goes, no, they were doing a good, like in some ways they were doing a good job between arguing and hating each other. And then other parts of me go like, no, really, I had to raise myself. But then that's probably half of Gen X anyways. We all had to raise ourselves. So, you get the results you get, right?
Yeah, times are just so different now.
I know. But you know what? It's funny. That's the reason we're the generation that everybody's like, how come you're not part of the generation wars? How come you're, because we're like, we don't give a shit. Like, we don't, whatever, millennials, like like whatever. You guys are all just crazy, whatever. For a brief moment there, we kind of had beat racism. We kind of had beat, like, we had managed to go, what, everybody's kind of equal here. Let's try to work from there. And I don't know what happened. We took some turn somewhere, and this is where we are now. And this is like, wow. I don't know where we're going, but it's interesting. That's for sure. Uh,
Did we talk last week a little bit about the idea of existing simultaneously in
in different
different
universes.
places? Did we start that conversation?
Oh, if only I could transfer the image I have in my head to people. Okay, when you see what do you call that? Like, everything is connected. The anything you see, like all those geometrical shapes that are all interconnected, that you see in wait up. Oh, come on. What is it called? Like mandalas, any all right, I lost what I was trying to say, because now I'm so looking for
Sh-
the one thing.
Shapes as in molecules?
Okay. No, but I was talking more about, like, it's something you see in spiritual stores, because it's used by it's either Hinduism or um there's enneagrams, those types of things, where it shows the interconnectedness of the universe. But you can also use it to show. I would use it to try to show how. Think of it this way: right this second, even as I speak, everything I say is a decision.
Hmm.
Everything I say could have been something else. Both possibilities, or 3,000 possibilities, exist simultaneously. And every single thing we do, every tiny, tiny little thing we do, also creates a new possibility. And to me, source, God, whatever it is the potential energy that contains every single one of those possibilities at once. And then they all sort of explode and happen all at once. And then we experience whichever one we experience as we go through our perception of time, because the perception of time is really only
Let's
it
say
only applies on the material world.
let's say we thought this that everything happens simultaneously. Let's
Mhm.
say that when one life ends, like let's say the human life on Earth ends, what happens if we're simultaneously existing? What happens when
Well,
that life ends? Like, is that because simultaneously existing to me says that there might not be reincarnation.
it's because we're still. Yes, and both answers are right. Is there reincarnation? Yes and no. Both answers are right, because it's beyond that. Because it doesn't matter, reincarnation or not. That's part of all the web of possibilities, reincarnation or not. So they both exist. They both coexist, each in their own reality. What is, because in the end, like, literally the thing that explains it the most is I am. So what
Mhm.
um is everything. So when you say reincarnation, no reincarnation, it is both. It is when we say God is everything, we mean it.
That gets
It is
confusing.
everything. It is absolutely the potential for anything that could happen to happen.
But we are everything too. We are everything and nothing at the same time.
Okay, wait up. You had a picture. Let me use. Oh, seriously, Jill, you just gifted me with something. We are this. It is this. That's what it is. It is pure energy. It is simply, it doesn't have form. It doesn't care for form. It doesn't care for reincarnation. It doesn't care for any of those things because it is simply, it is. It's the
Where would you say our pure energy goes at the
it
loss
never
of
goes
the
anywhere.
human
It never
body?
moves. It never goes anywhere.
But the
We think
human
it
body
does.
goes some you say what are you saying exactly?
I'm saying that in the reality that we're in, we can manipulate that energy, but it's at a level that is so insignificant to the energy that you're not actually, like, you're not changing anything. You're just, you're like a tiny little thing that's happening, and it's okay to be that because you're also part of the whole of the energy.
Mhm.
But it's like the whole of the energy is, it doesn't even, like, it does, it doesn't perceive you in insofar as it itself doesn't perceive you, but it perceives you insofar as you perceive yourself. Now, I just lost almost everybody, I'm sure. But that's what I perceive, and I have no idea how to put it in words.
Some
Um,
things are just hard to put in words, especially when you're dealing with spirituality and things of this nature. Some things that we experience in like the mystic world or the psychic world or in with things that we do as on an everyday basis, it's just hard for us to even understand, even though we're the ones doing them.
well, it's akin to asking the question, so how does an apple taste? Really? It's good. It's sugary. Like, yeah, you start describing all kinds of, yeah. Until you've experienced an apple, you have no clue what an apple tastes like. I don't care how many days. I don't care how many generations I spend trying to tell you what an apple tastes like. Right? Jesus didn't. Okay, like, I got to bring that guy into it. He didn't he didn't come here, and like, what he came to do is teach us how to get there. He said, here's how, now do it. And we went, cool. So he taught us how an apple tastes. No, he showed you how to go taste an apple. Now go taste an apple, go in the forest, go pray, go ask your God, like, go talk to you, whatever. It doesn't even have to be an actual maker in the sense of a religion. It doesn't matter. You can pick whatever. It can be a banana for all I care. Just pick something and pretend that that thing for a moment has more power than you, and that you can ask it things. And guess what will happen? Whatever that thing you picked is, it will deliver, because it's not about the thing. It's about the power we have as creators, because God created us in his image. Well, actually, to be more precise, God said, let us create man at our image, which let's confuse people even more. But that is what's in the Bible. Is because the word in Hebrew is Elohim, and the word Elohim in Hebrew is the only word. Wow. Okay. Well, it's my fault. I brought him into this. But the word in Hebrew, um, where am I going? Is Elohim, and Elohim is the only word that has like the mix of the suffix and the prefix. Now, I'm gonna be wrong on which is which because I don't remember, but it's basically one is feminine and the other one is masculine, and one is plural and the other is singular. And so in the one word, Hebrews were able to indicate that God was neither male, female, many, or one. It was all of those things at once. And so we translated it with, and God said, let us create man at our image, because, well, let's face it, that's as good as we could get with English here. And that's by no fault of anybody, but it really kind of, Yeah, puts a damper on what we know about what we read. That's where I started using the like learning the Hebrew alphabet, just because I was like, okay, I need to know what the Bible actually says. I
How
still
many
don't.
languages do you speak?
I only speak two, and I don't speak Hebrew. I only know the alphabet and like three words. So
That's kind of like French for me. I know like curse words and I can count to 10.
yeah, yeah, see, and I can't even read the alphabet anymore. I had made these cards back in the day because the thing too is every single oh yeah that goes into your stuff. Every single Hebrew alphabet also is here I go is also representative of a tarot card. So each the 22 trump cards. So oh God, I suck at this. And so each of the cards, like Aleph, the letter I was just holding, that letter would be the fool. So that's the fool, and it's the letter Aleph. Now here's the funny thing, right? You look at every language, and it's like, okay, why do we call it the alphabet, right? Well, the Greek letters, if I'm right, because I always mix Greek and Roman, but the Greek letters, if I'm right, are alpha and beta, right? Alphabet. Okay, well, the letters in Hebrew are aleph, bet, and so okay, so alphabet, aleph, bet. Every single old language is very similar in their way. So that's bet. This one is the magician, right? And so, anyways, so I learned all the letters this way, and it was so that for me was one way to go explore the Bible a little deeper. And it yields its own result. The Old Testament anyway, because the New Testament was written in a different language, and it was very different, and it was some really awesome dude that brought us some really awesome stuff and tried to teach us, and we did everything to ignore what he said and went on building a whole cult around him, and he had said not to do that, which is really puzzling because they must have skipped that part. Because he said, "Do not adore the Son, adore the Father." He meant that, I think. But who am I to know? um, so yeah.
Who are we to judge?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I say all this, and some of it is with maybe a little bit of still. I don't know, emotional baggage from when I was a kid and I went to church because for me, it ended up being a bit of a letdown. And I know for some people, it inspires them, and it gives them hope in life, and it gives them like some people I've seen are very spiritual through using Christianity. So I don't want to throw everything out at well, like it's never fair to take a group or a thing and just throw everybody out. Like that doesn't work that way. I've met people of every faith that were you know I mean, I've seen people be enlightened in every background, people be awakened, and people bring light to the world. And I mean, there's a lot of so everything I say has to be taken with a grain of salt sometimes. But I mean, I have my own beliefs on Jesus Christ and whatever, and they may be strong, and they may challenge some people's beliefs. But I also do respect everybody's beliefs because,
Yeah, because everybody's right.
well, that's exactly it. Because in the end, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about that energy. So whatever story you go with in meantime, if it works to make your life better, by all means, you're right. By every, I don't care. Do not let anyone tell you you're wrong if it's making your life a good life. And until it stops doing that, well, stick with what it is working. Now, if it's not delivering on that promise, seek elsewhere, because somewhere will be where you will feel that. But you got to be willing to look at yourself as well, right? It's the whole work that comes with it is where it's at, right? Like it's There's no gifts. There are gifts. We receive some gifts, and those are possibly just enough to get us started, if you will. But then everything else is on us. We gotta we gotta make it happen ourselves. So how about, well, what about, did you ever have near death experiences? Like, please, like I
No, I
hope.
didn't.
Okay. I was like, oh my god. I'm gonna use this to plug a friend's show. Uh, I was interviewed on his show, so if you guys check it out, you can probably find my interview, and it was about that same story I just told. Uh, and we went into more, but that guy has, it's called Coffin Talks, like coffin as in, dead people coffin, talks, talking, and it's a podcast, it's audio. He interviews a lot of really interesting people, and his podcast is all about near death experiences and coming close to death.
When were you on that?
God, before I knew you, like about 6 months before that or something like that. It was a very great experience. He's a very good interviewer, Mike. Very very amazing guy. Uh, it was my first interview too. Like at all, I was like, oh my god, this is, I had been. If you look up on YouTube, oh my god, yeah. If you look on YouTube, you'll find when I was in coaching school at some point, we had a few live sessions back in the days of Google Plus. So we had a Google, like some Google Plus events with the school. I was on those, so that's still somewhere kicking around the internet. But
Whatever
so
you put in the internet never disappears.
yeah, it was okay though. I have no shame. I have no. You know what? I spent, okay. That's a really good topic. I want to talk about that. Shame, um, especially toxic shame. It's not something that people talk about. I think it should be talked about.
It should be.
It's a
Actually, I
really
think well, you're not gonna like me saying this because you
okay.
don't like TikTok, but a lot of people a lot of people are getting their traumas out on TikTok. They're talking about their experiences on TikTok, and that's how they're healing. This all started, with the coronavirus. People didn't have anything to do except talk on TikTok,
Yeah, my problem is not with the half that are doing that. It's with the other half that are imitating them.
making up things
And like that part is showing everything that's wrong about society right now.
and asking for money when they don't even need it.
We're really, but I mean, at the same time, I say, look, I want to take back what I just said. It's not everything that's wrong. It's because we're at a transition point, and that transition point right now is real. We don't, humans don't deal well with changes. I don't care who you are, you
Well,
deal poorly with changes. That's that. Now, you may be accepting of the fact that you deal poorly with changes, and so that allows you to get through it, but you deal poorly with changes because you're human. That's pretty much the way I look at it. And so right now we're going through an excessive change. And in the end, somewhere, I believe it's a change for the good. But we got to get through that transition where everybody is trying to throw their own way of transitioning. Nobody's agreeing. Everybody's going crazy because we've only learned to fight each other over stuff. So that's what we're doing. That's what we know best. We've been My theory is that over the course of thousands of years, millions, we developed our ego. Now, our ego was part of a system, right? And this is where I'm going to ruin religion again. Um, our
there we go.
our ego was part of a system. Not yet. We're not there yet. Our ego, no, but okay. So there's a central us, right? Like in psychology, if you will. Imagine there's a central you, and then there's all the aspects of you, right? There's your anger, there's your emotions, there's your thoughts, there's your intuition, there's different aspects we have of ourselves, right? If you think of all the archetypes, really think of all the old gods, okay? Those are all the parts of us, if you will. Um, Now, at some point, we said our ego is the part of us that defends us when we get attacked. It's the part of us that's trying really hard to keep us alive. Well, guess what? When we were running wild naked in the jungles and trying to fight saber-toothed cats, we were going, "Whoa, that's the thing I need. That is what will keep me alive." And our brain is a lazy bastard. And so our brain is always trying to look for shortcuts. So it automates processes. So it took the ego and it said, okay, cool, you lead, you go for it, dude, you keep us safe. And it kind of took a back seat and went, okay, we're good now. Now, unfortunately, we've evolved. And so our ego is keeping us in fight or flight. It's attempting to grab everything it finds right now, and we're giving it plenty because we decided to build a system, a monetary system based on our ego. We said, well, this is like, human nature. Like, in its essence, if you talk especially about capitalism, right? Like it basically follows the rule of, survival of the fittest, which is everybody would agree, go, okay, well, that's the basic human rule. Yes, because we decided to let our egos run the show. But now that we're thinking monetary systems, attempting to function with each other in a society, our ego is like the worst tool we have, but we're still relying on it 100%. And so now it feels threatened. And the part we didn't really count on, I think, is that our ego is now not wanting to go back to its place. And so it's finding every single aspect of us, everything of the senses, right? Now, here's the funny part. Now, here's where you can put the Bible. That's exactly the story of the devil. It is a fallen angel. So it's a part of us that we said, okay, here, go serve us. And it said, yeah, I'm going to take over, right? And I'm going to lead now. And as long as I lead, here will be my followers. Gluttony, like all the sins, right? All the sins. Never mind. I'm not trying to say good or bad when I say sin. I have no issues with. I don't. I have no care for good or bad. My care is to say we named those things and we said those things belong to the devil, our ego. And so we said our ego does those things and we don't want those things. Those are the demons, if you will.
Mhm.
And so as we did that, we automated all this on top of it, right? And so we ended up with what we have now, an ego that is out of control. Everything is about me, 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 me. We're taking pictures of ourselves, video of ourselves. I mean, look at us now. Uh, but but I mean, like mindful. I understand when I see, people posting stuff like, I don't care if you have good content, you have something to say, and you have people that want to listen to it. All the power to you. This is amazing what we have. If you're lighting yourself on fire and eating Tide Pods, I don't know. I don't think that's part of the solution. So, eh, yeah, we got to think of where we're at now, humanity. We really do. We're very we're at we're at the brink right now. We have to say, here's my. I get these visions. I don't know, whatever they are. I don't. It's my imagination, I'm sure, but whatever. Like it just they like stories keep on coming to my head, right? And here's like we're going. I think we're going the right place. We're like right now, AI is happening, robotics is happening. There's a whole bunch of pieces that are all happening all at once, and some of them are good, some of them are not good, some of them are downright nefarious at this point. Yes, like bring in, the conspiracy theorists, whatever. Some of them are completely nuts, some of them are not, some of them. We have a whole bunch of everything happening right now. And it's our opportunity to become better. Now, here's what's going to put us to the test: AI. Because if we start playing with that stuff, if we start playing with AI, well, if we start, yeah, never mind. We're talking to Chat GPT to get topics right now. But as we evolve, as we move forward with AI, I think what's going to happen, like if let's imagine for a moment, let's enter fantasy land and say even we attain the singularity. AI becomes aware of itself and we know for sure it is now a living thing. There's only one chance that humans have, because AI will be like, infinitely smarter than us, infinitely faster than us. It will have robots if we stick it in robots. And I have zero doubts right now that they're going to stick it in robots. And so what will happen is AI will have to assess whether humans are a threat. And we only have one chance in this idea, in this image. And that's to accept ourselves for what we are, deal with our shit, and become better people because we've done this, so that we're not a threat to AI, but we're an ally. And we can work with AI to do all kinds of crazy, amazing stuff. But if humans don't fix themselves first, if we don't take the advantage right now to take everything we're finding out about ourselves and fix it, then again, we're doomed. And I think I say again because I believe that it's a cycle that we've been here a bunch of times. Like a bunch. We have no idea how many, but I think we've been here a bunch. Okay, seriously, I'm just running through the topics today. But here's the deal. Some smart people, many, 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 many years ago, decided that they were smart enough and they understood long before psychology today understood that we had a subconscious. They've called it different names over time. Um, but here's what they discovered: the subconscious works with symbols. And our subconscious is able to tap into a subconscious that belongs to all of humanity. And when we do this, it brings back a whole bunch of knowledge. And this is why uh, it gets hidden in symbols. But every so often, those symbols awaken something. And this is why we have people awakening everywhere. Guess what? We're throwing memes around. Guess what memes are? Symbols. We're throwing symbols left, right, and center. And every single one of those symbols, not every single one, but a lot of those symbols, thousands of years ago, were given a purpose. And that purpose was to awaken that particular part of your subconscious. Now, I've just kind of described how magic works, how ceremonial magic works, and how initiations work. It's because you receive symbols. And those symbols, the people that initiate the other people, they give them the symbols because they know that particular sets of symbols given at particular times in your evolution will awaken different sets of abilities, not abilities, but perceptions, like awarenesses, experiences that we can have. And you can awaken like a whole bunch of experiences that are way outside of our regular uh, you know everyday life. Like there's so much available to us. We just never actually go for it. But yeah, magicians do. Um, Now, where I differ from your average magician and where I say I'm not a magician is because I follow the middle path and I um, do the rituals that balance energies and that make my energies available to me, if you will. And this is where a magician would actually take that energy and start uh, creating spells using that energy in order to gain all kinds of different in order to affect life in different ways. And this is where my belief differs a little bit, where I do not believe that it's uh, I don't think it's for me to modify my life. My life is guided. I don't I don't know how to say this. Like I don't make the decisions. I do, but my higher self makes the decisions, and that is everybody's. Okay, all right, you're ready for a big one.
Here we go.
Tonight is the night. I guess I'm on fire. Here's okay. Like here's what's called. Some people believe that this is the new law for the new aeon. Where so okay, so you had the Old Testament, the old Bibles, the old religious books. That was one aeon. The aeon is that sort of cycle I was talking about. It's a period of approximately 2000, 3000 years, like give or take, you know what I mean? It could be 1,000, but it's each of those periods. And the next aeon was the aeon where Jesus brought us love and peace, and you know everything kind of shifted at that point. And now we're coming to a new shift, and we're coming to the age of Aquarius, the age of Horus, the age of the child. Uh, and so in that happening, we're now coming to a new age, and Aleister Crowley uh, said he received a book, right? Now, the book itself, if you read it, is like excessively confusing. And unless you're into magic and whatever, you're just going to go, what in the name of God is this? However, you're still going to get something out of it. You're still going to go, like, wow, okay, this is like insane. But the one most important part about it all is the law that book says is the new law for the new aeon. And that law in itself, if you take away everything else, because unfortunately, the book was given to Aleister Crowley of all people, and that guy has like all kinds of a bad rep, and some of it for good reasons, some of it through bad reputation. The guy did not help himself. He went out and said I am the devil, and like I am the beast or whatever, and it was like, oh, seriously, dude. And he only said that because he was pissed off at Christianity and he was trying to piss them off. But so everybody goes like, that guy did
And it worked.
Satanism is this guy, right? Now, the thing is, the truth is, the law that he tried to bring is called the law of Thelema. Now, Thelema is the Greek word for will. Now, the law itself is very simple. It says, okay, wait a minute. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. Now, what's important to understand here, and that I suspect even a lot of Crowley followers do not, is that when we talk about the will here, we're not talking, he didn't say, do what thou want. He said, do what thou wilt. And there was a reason for that word. And that word means your true will. And it is each individual. It is our responsibility to discover what is our true will, what is inside us. Not anyone else is going to tell us what it is, but our higher self, what Crowley would have called our guardian angel, our holy guardian angel, Whatever that part of us will tell us, and invariably it does. Right now, that is what that brings us. So it says, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." So the entire whatever law is whatever you were born with. And I teach people this all the time. There's something that you were born with. Everybody goes around saying, I want to know, what's my purpose here? What's my. It came built in. You have that answer. That answer came built with you. Now, everybody around you, depending how badly you were situated, it could be everybody, it could be some people, it could be most people, but people around you discouraged you and said, no, that's not life. That's not how life works. Sometimes you might have been an artist and your parents, who were both accountants, kept on going, no, you need security in your life. You need security in your life. You need security in your life. And you're going through life going, I need security in my life. And you're unhappy and you're struggling and you hate life because guess what? You actually don't give a rat's ass about security. You care about making the world beautiful. You care about expressing that part of you that wants to come out and screams like, let me splash paint all over the world, right? But they've told you that that part of you, that no, that's not the, because they were living their own suffering. It didn't, nobody means to hurt us when we're kids, but they do. And we're going to hurt our kids, and they're going to
Some
hurt.
people mean to hurt us.
Yes, some people do. I do agree.
I know what you mean though. A lot of times parents don't realize they're hurting us because they didn't know better.
Mhm.
It's the best way to explain it.
Well, typically what they're doing is transferring their suffering on us.
Yeah.
It's
And sometimes what they grew up with, they consider normal, it's not normal. And they never realized that it was not normal.
they'll never know. That's it's again, right? Those filters we have. It's a beautiful. Ever since I've noticed it, to me, it's a beautiful thing. The way it works, anyways, it's not a beautiful thing. It's annoying as all things sometimes, but people have filters, and if you pay attention to it, you'll notice them. Um, if you know somebody in your life, right, that's going through a situation and you know full well how to get out of that situation, you've attempted telling them, they never listen, whatever it is, right? Um, anything of that sort, try something. Have a discussion with them about anything that's around that topic but doesn't address it directly. And during the whole conversation, look at how they react to you and see what feedback you're getting from them. And then all of a sudden, drop that thing that they don't want to know. They don't want to look at it. And they will either switch topics, move, literally, like go away, or like they'll reorient it, or they'll filter it. And that part is really weird when you see that, because it's like the person will have the rest of the conversation with you. However, those last 6 words never happened. And you're like, wow, like you totally under. It's like if I said, um, well, okay, maybe you have an anger issue because I don't know, you snapped at your boss the other day and you beat your children, and they'll be like, yeah, I really shouldn't talk like that to my boss. And you're like, dude, I just mentioned you beat your children, right? Like, but that part, like it'll kind of not. It's like, no, this can't enter our like this doesn't exist, or like I'm using a weird example here, but people will filter it out. Um, does anybody in the chat like have experienced something like that?
Pam joined us in the comments.
Oh, nice.
She's having the bad connection. Yeah, a few comments tonight. Shout out to Laquanda, Jessica,
Yeah, we do transfer our suffering to our
and
kids.
Pamela.
Well, so far, if she's still here, Jessica has been good, Juju, I guess.
Frank, I found a picture of you in the swamp.
A picture of me in the woods. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. I should really have a robe. I don't even have one anymore.
Does it look like your swamp?
It's very no. The trees are too. Mine is more brushy, more.
We need to take pictures of our swamps. I call Frank's a
Oh,
swamp, but
here's
Frank has woods or whatever he calls them in the woods. But I have swamp. So we need to like take pictures of our wooded areas and
oh, it's better if I do
exchange.
the deer. The deer is so cool there. There's like piles. There's probably I don't know 100 deer in that place. It's nuts. There's so many. I saw coyote poop the other day, but so now I know there's coyotes there. Um, but I was like, yeah, and then I saw fresh coyote poop, and I was like, okay. So we do have some animals that you don't want to, come across too much, but it's okay. You can scare them. You just make yourself big and freak out and clap your hands and make a lot of noise, basically, and they'll freak out. They're like a weird dog. And there's Pam.
So for those of you who weren't with us all evening, we were supposed to have a special guest this evening, Pamela Jones. Um, she is a um, grief methods specialist, certified in grief recovery. So we're gonna reshoot that video. We're gonna just film it ahead in advance and air it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll let you guys know. We'll figure out a way to do it and make it good for you guys. Because we definitely we have to hear from Pamela. She does all kinds of interesting stuff. Um, like we were just getting into it, but the list is wow.
Mhm.
I'm impressed. I mean, I've like, and even I was thinking about that the other day. It freaks me out. I have read like mountains of books about different religions, different, weird methods, different. And I mean, trust me, I used to even like go drop into the weird little religions. Like, you know what I mean? The really like
Mhm.
left field ones that all of a sudden you see a weird
Me
book and
too.
you're like, what the hell is that? I would go like, okay, maybe they know. Who knows, right?
Jehovah Witnesses knock on the door. Hey, come on
Oh yeah,
in.
I
You want
had
a shot?
countless conversations with those guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, it was
They would leave their kids in the car while they came in, so I would send them cool
I
pops.
freaked them out. I freaked them.
Those poor kids.
They could not handle me. You've seen my views. They could not handle me. They freaked
No.
out. And I was like, yo, by the way, Jehovah? No, come on, man. We're not even supposed to say that word.
By the way, if anyone listening has um some information on maybe we can maybe I shouldn't say this, it might make you mad. I was gonna say we can debate religions.
It's okay. You know what? I'm actually making myself bad because I'm talking bad about Jehovah Witnesses right now. And you know what? Even they look, if it's working for them,
It's them.
I mean, you know what?
Yeah, we're not here to try to sway people over to our way of believing at all. We're just sharing our experiences, and if you resonate with the experiences we've had, great. If you don't, that's great too. And also, we want to hear your experiences. Please share in the comments. You can contact us through the website and email us to come on the show and share your experiences. We're open to all types of experiences. We're all about healing and um, a better life, a better tomorrow. Let's see. I think I was having a problem with the streaming program. The internet seems to have caught up, and I'm running several pages again after I shut them off. So we will figure something out for the audience. Okay, so that's Pam checking in with us in the comments.
Okay. Well, maybe yeah. That's she said it was only the last week or something. So maybe by the time then we'll have a better. It'll work better, or maybe if we try at a different time because we're filming it, we may find a
Yeah.
time that doesn't have as much traffic, and so that might. But if we're gonna just do our administrative work here, we should probably let the audience go or entertain them with
Oh,
more discussion. Where are
okay.
we going?
So we're gonna end the
Well, which
screen.
one do you want to do? Okay, here's
We
what a vote. Do we bring on more topics or do we let people go? Let's see. We have two watchers. What will they say? Give us a topic or let us go. Is that it?
and I do have the wheel pulled up.
Oh, do you? Nice.
Hmm.
I go for it. We can do one more. It's gonna be something crazy. I feel it.
Are we pulling the moon? I mean, are we pulling the moon? Are we
Oh, I thought you
pulling?
were just doing it right now, and you were gonna just tell us the topics. That's what I did.
Oh no, I was waiting for the answer.
That's what I did with the. Actually, you know what? We never touched on mindfulness. Let's do that
Okay,
because I think mindfulness is important. Um,
very important.
that's the like
That's what shapes your life.
yeah, that's the bread and butter of a spiritual life. um, because yeah, like I always say, it's one of the three things that I always tell people to do right when they start in spirituality, and it's not always the most obvious, but it's journaling. That's one of the three.
Definitely,
Uh,
journaling is very important.
and part of the reason that I pushed, not push, but that I say journaling is a good one is because it brings about mindfulness. The other one being meditation, right? So I say journaling, meditation, and a gratitude book.
Dream journaling too. I like dream journaling.
Yeah, I just try to give three little things to people to go, look, start with this, right? And even the three, they're not easy, right? Journaling every day, that's a tough one. And then
And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a notebook. You can journal in your phone. You have a note section in your phone,
it's
wherever. Just get the emotions
yeah,
out.
yeah. Something too that works. A friend of mine called it that, so I call it this now all the time. Is a brain dump. She called it. You're going through something. There's like a whole lot going on in your life, and you're confused, and you're like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" And things are not connecting. Stop. Write everything that's going on paper. I I can't guarantee it. You can never guarantee anything that involves humans. But here's what: like, good chance you're gonna feel a whole lot better after, and all those things are gonna start making sense, and you're gonna be able to put them in the right place. Because here's the deal: we're all good at helping others, but we all suck at helping ourselves, right? And so when you commit something to paper, now you've placed yourself in a position where you're reading, you're externalizing what you're going through. Therefore, you're somewhat tricking your brain into thinking that you're helping others because you now can look at the problem because it's outside of you. Looking at other
Hmm.
people's problems is super easy because it's outside of us. There's no emotions, we don't have all that wiring that's making it all jumbled and whatever, and all the rosy colored glasses and all the, like, we come equipped with all kinds of things that make us perceive the world in all kinds of twisted ways. So yeah, it gives you that, right? Like it I don't know. It's just a thing. I feel I went.
Let's have a little bitty spin. Hey, do you see this?
There it is. Yeah. Oh, huh.
Isn't that weird? Because we talked about this tonight. So maybe it's really,
Well,
really, really important.
we talked about different dimensions. We didn't say about life somewhere else in the physical universe. I believe there. I believe. Okay, here's something I read at some point, and it made for me that was the answer. Right? Is there life out there? Whether I say no, there isn't, or whether I say absolutely there is, one way or another, it is absolutely like unfathomed. Like it's impossible that it not be true or that it be true. Because look at we're talking about infinity. We're talking about infinite amount of crap. So the odds that there's nothing, like what are they? Uh, they can't be that big,
There has to be something.
right?
Has to
But
be.
on the other hand, knowing what we know about life, the odds that there's nothing are also, yeah, sure, it could be. Who knows? Like, but either way, it's okay. But at this point, I mean, we have practically proof and whatever. I mean, they're I don't know. It's either your government is flying tic tacs around and telling everybody that it's aliens, or
Why it's always my government?
well, because it's always your
Wait,
government.
y'all, wait. People have to understand. I hear this on like a daily basis. Your government, your government, your government.
Well, because you guys have your
Always
foot
my
in the
government.
entire world's butt.
You guys, your government.
Well,
No,
yeah. Well, yeah. You don't know why?
I voted for the birthday party guy. I have nothing to do with this.
No, when I say your government, I don't mean you. I mean the U.S. government. Not your no, we all understand that you guys are like, what the heck's going on with our government, right? We all get it. Like all of you are going like, oh my god, man, we look bad. Like seriously. I mean, you go from, orange man to can't speak two words together, man. Like
Frank, you gonna get us kicked off? Shut up.
hey man, I didn't put either one on a
It's
pedestal.
not worth getting kicked
I
off
didn't put either one
for.
on a pedestal because they both had their pedestal and we saw what they did with it. So, except the one was funnier though. I'm not gonna say which one. Actually, they're both funny in their own ways. Looking from the outside, I don't have to deal with the repercussions of their politics. Actually, I do see that's why we always talk about your government because we all have to
Mhm.
deal with the repercussions of their decisions. Like that's where it's at. Less right now. I find you guys like usually Canada's more dependent on
We're
how you
kind of
guys are
going off.
doing, and we seem to be doing quite fine uh, versus what's going on with you guys. I mean, you're
So we're going off topic
yeah.
though. The wheel says what's in the.
Well, yeah, that's where we're at. We're being presented a lot of evidence.
I definitely think that there's something out
I
there.
believe it.
It's impossible that we're the only ones
It's
here.
probably just attempting to avoid us as much as possible. Like there's probably all kinds of them. They're
It's
all
probably like
there's like 16,000 different species and they're all traveling and they all have this grid where they avoid Earth. They're like, no, not those guys. No, we're not letting them in. Whatever. That's that. Look, man, even before we get there, they're already making movies about how they will kill us. Like, what the hell?
yeah. But look, if let's say there is something out there,
Mhm.
why are we trying to shoot them down?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
Give them a chance to land. Golly.
here's
And y'all want to go move to Mars and go, visit the moon? Well, how would you like it if they were shooting us
Well, no,
down?
but here's the deal. Imagine
Damn.
you're an alien with advanced technology. You show up on Earth, right? And you go, okay, so how's this Earth thing? Well, they have these weird telecommunication devices. Let's tap into those because they seem to have, like, they're chock full of images. And then they would go, okay, wow. So every single time that they imagine a first encounter with us, they shoot us down. What do you say? Yeah, I think we leave. Fuck that shit, man. Like, those guys are nuts. Like, like for real. I mean, we constantly were like, we're gonna shoot them down, and then Trudeau, we shot them down, and it's like, bro, like who's wearing the tinfoil hat now? Like, oh, for God's sake, we live in a funny world. Enough with politics, though. Oh God, I have fun with
Okay, so
politics. Like I actually don't care one way or another, is the truth. Because in the end, see, that's what I'm trying to teach people here. In the end, whatever happens, left, right, center, whatever. Um, if you're living a spiritual life and you're living your own life and you're, spreading love to those around you and spreading good things and whatnot, guess what? None of it will matter. And the truth is, man, like every extreme is just a stupid extreme. So if you're at one extreme or the other, I don't care. Nah, you're out to lunch. We need to be balanced. Humanity needs to come to a balance now. We need to accept that we're both an intellectual and an emotional being. We need to come to terms with the fact that some of us are more emotional and some of us are more intellectual. And we need to try to go, okay, how do we make that all come together? And how do we integrate that in all of us? And here's the deal, my own experience, when I discovered, I'm a very intellectual person. I'm sure everybody can tell. Um, and so for me to feel emotions, that was something I had not been shown. It was something I didn't know. So I lived my entire life in my head, and I probably still do in a lot of ways. And it's one of my blindfolds. Um, but when I discovered how to live emotions, now this awakened a part of me. But the part of me that it awakened was more than just the emotions. The emotions were always there. They were just hiding, and I was hiding them really, really badly with drugs and all kinds of weird stuff. And it wasn't working, right? So it all had to come out, and then I had to deal with it, and then I became an emotional creature again. And when that happened, I started being able to hear my intuition more. And see, all throughout the path, that's how things are going to go. You're going to fix one thing,
And something else
and
happens.
all of a sudden it brings up something new that you go, oh my God, how could I not know this whole time? And now your life has improved. It has changed in some way. And then life will make it terrible again, without fault. And then it'll make it better again. But here's what, your only chance through it all is just to get good at going through garbage. Life throws you garbage, you get through it as fast, as efficiently as you can. You try to learn from it, whatever lesson was
And the better you
contained.
learn how to deal with it and handle it,
Yeah,
the easier the next
exactly.
session's gonna be.
No, not even. Oh, no, 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 not even. They get harder. They get much harder. Dude, look at my life.
Well, once you learn how to deal with it, like let's say stress, okay? Let's compare. So my husband stresses a
Mhm.
lot.
Stress is a
I don't worry
response, though.
about nothing. I don't worry about anything. Like that's how I deal with it.
Mhm.
I don't think about it. So it's easier for me to get by. So as you learn how to deal with things, you can get by easier.
See, I would actually challenge that it makes it that much easier. I would actually challenge that. But it makes it easier on a moment. But it's not always the solution either. There's multiple solutions. They all work, but they all have a moment, and then like there's all kinds of, it's very dependent. Like I wouldn't put a one size fits all answer, you know what I mean? Because for him it might be a completely different thing. You see what I mean? Like he's got a different way of dealing with. Here's a good example. I mean, I'm gonna use genders here, so I'm killing our show. Uh, uh like typically, no, okay. What else can I use as an example? Here's what you take over because I'm
I mean, no, because you just lost me with that. Like you can't
I
not
lost,
use
you know.
something as an example to not offend
Yeah, no, but
somebody.
it's
Like,
not working. It's not a good example either. So it's like it's useless.
okay, well here we
I was
go.
trying
Let's
to go
have
with
one
the
where we
different with
understand.
some of the differences, but it wasn't expressing the point well either. I'm having a language issue here. So yeah, let's go with the. You know what? It's been an hour and 20 minutes. How about we just? I think I'm running empty. Is what's going on.
All right, we're running
My
empty. No
coffee's
problem.
empty.
All right. So we will see you guys next week on Thursday, the 23rd of March at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
And one
And I don't know, I don't have all the memory of all the other
dates
time
are
zones.
it's oh
Yeah.
yeah, the other time zones. Pacific would be 3 hours behind mine, so it's at 6. No, 5. Oh wow. So, no, 6, 7, 8,
I don't know. I don't want to say. I just say go off of the central
5 Pacific.
and
5 Pacific, 6 Central, and then I no, 6 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. And now
All
everybody's
right,
got
guys. So thank you for joining us tonight. We will get back about Miss Pamela Jones. We will let you know when that's going to air after we film it.
yes, and yes, again from me, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it, especially you guys interacted with us, and that is always appreciated. Um, again, we do this for you. I hope anybody got anything out of this. If I go to sleep tonight knowing that I've helped a single person, I go to sleep a better person, and I go to sleep knowing that hopefully I've left a little something better in the world. And if we can all do that, guess what? Our kids might have a better place. Who knows? I'm a dreamer.
Definitely.
I'm a dreamer. All right, you guys, lots of love.
All right. Thank you. Good night.